All right, Heather, it's yours.
Hi, I'm Heather and Donald.
Donald.
I'm Heather Brooks. I'm from Los Angeles and Florida. I'm back and forth. I am here today with some of our board, actually all of our board members. Donald, why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know where you're from? We also have Debbie Gentry and Laura. Laura's there too. Go. Donald, why don't you start?
Hi, I'm Donald Maycott. I am the co-founder of the Seniors Network, EXP Seniors Network, and look to have another exciting mastermind this evening. I am in the Villages in Florida, the largest retirement community in the world.
Debbie? Are you there?
Hi, I'm Debbie Gentry. I've been in real estate a little over 30 years, and I am also in the Villages, Florida. I'm the co-founder with Donald of the group. And one of the things people don't know about the Villages is that we have 101 heated swimming pools, 55 golf courses, about 150 restaurants, and 3,000 clubs and activities. So if you're bored here, it's only because you want to be.
Thanks, Debbie. Laura, why don't you tell everybody about yourself?
Hi, I am Laura Zaplitney, and I'm actually in Arizona, which is not far from Heather there, and not far from Florida. So I have been an agent with the XP going on my 3rd year, and I've been total an agent, I would say, going on 8 years. And being in Arizona, we do see a lot of real estate for seniors. We have a lot of beautiful communities like Pebble Creek and Sun City West and Sun Lakes and other areas. So this is definitely a population to serve. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And by the way, Eve Hill, who's over here, she is not an agent with us, but she does do our social media stuff, and she's here to kind of drop some links in. And if you guys ever need help with flyers and stuff, she's always around to help you. She's amazing at what she does and gets the stuff out there. So like Donald was saying earlier, for people that were here, this is kind of an open discussion. So I kind of want to go around and see where everybody's from and kind of get an idea of what everybody's market's like. And so when we kind of get into a roundtable about stuff, we'll be able to understand a little bit more about your markets. Why don't we go ahead and start with Amy? Amy Roberts.
Hi, I'm in San Antonio. I got my SRES in January, and but I learned about universal design over 17 years ago when I was modifying my home for my grandmother, and I never forgot it. It just made so much sense. And the things that we put to practice here are still being used and for my family. It was a growing family and I love it. Now we're empty nesters. So it's never left me, and it's a passion now.
Great.
So
Wonderful. Thank you. Tom. Hey, Tom. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Mute.
Now I can. Where are you from? Oh, you're muted again. Yeah. There you go.
Hi, I'm Tom from Toronto, Canada. The market is very hot here. I've been a realtor a couple of years. I'm transitioning. Just wanted to have a great interest for the seniors market, and just getting started. So
Welcome to the club.
willing to learn, wanting to learn.
Welcome to the club. Tara, where are you from?
Hi, I live in the Indianapolis area, and I have been with EXP just a little over a month, been in real estate for a little under 2 years. I'm actually a converted occupational therapist. So my background is working with seniors for many years. They're my people. And so it was natural for me to want to get involved in these groups. I'm kind of considering which certifications I should get, also thinking about SRES and CAPS. Also, I also have a degree in interior design, which is weird combo. So it kind of lends itself to getting both of those certifications. But yeah, so I've worked in about every kind of senior facility there is, and the home health community, everything from long-term care to assisted living, independent living, and the communities that serve all of those things, and retirement communities. So so yeah, this was just a
So
natural.
you know what those communities are looking for, which is great. Being able to help somebody buy a facility and know what would work and what wouldn't work.
And I still have a lot of friends and contacts in that industry, and still working in those areas. So it's kind of a natural place for me to go to try to build my business as well.
Yeah. Great. Wonderful. Tasha, did I say it right?
Hi, yes, my name is Tasha, and I am here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been a realtor for 4 years. I just renewed my license, and I got my designation back in June. So I wanted to hop onto this mastermind because this week I am interviewing 2 independent living communities here where I live. So.
And you're
I'm doing a tour. I'm going to do a tour, and then I have like an evaluation list that I'm going to ask them questions and that sort of thing, and find out, what the turnover is, just make a connection.
That homework is so important. I'd love to hear about it when you get back and what you ask, because it's kind of nice to share those details with us. So when in some areas, there are that you can't tour them yet. In some areas, you can. You never know. But I would love to hear how it goes and what kind of questions you asked and what kind of responses you got, because all of us have a different view of what we're looking for.
Right. Yep. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, I love it. John Carter.
Okay. I'm actually a visitor. I've been with EXP actually in real estate for only almost 7 months now. I'm totally a rookie, and I'm trying to find out where to land and figure out what I want to get certified in. I'm hearing this terminology, and I went to one of our sessions at the senior session, network session, and I enjoyed it. And I think I found a home, or at least no pun intended. I'm going to go in that direction, maybe pursue the senior living area.
It's a connection. I think all of us kind of connect with that type of community, but it's nice because it's not fast paced. It's not woo, wow, great, bam, bam. It's networking and enjoying a relationship. Very different than the younger generation, I think. Well, if you're younger here, sorry.
I agree.
And hopefully we can answer some of your questions tonight.
Yeah, I would love to. But thank you for sharing. Irina, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, guys. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, you probably cannot see me. I'm also a realtor. Like, it's my 4th year in this industry. And I got my certification in January, and I didn't do anything about that because I just don't know where to start, seriously. So, and I joined this mastermind just to get some ideas and start working on something, right?
Right, I agree. We're on the same boat, which is nice.
Cool.
Thank you and where are you from?
I work in South San Francisco Bay Area. My office Los Altos, and I kind of work with seniors a little bit, and that's why I got my certification. And I was also farming, and quarter of my farm are people like older people, and I really want to know how to market to them, what do they need, like how I can be, what kind of service they need from me, how I can serve them, basically, right? So that's the reason for me to get this certification. And since I got it, I didn't know what to do. So that's why I'm here. Like, I'm ready to listen to you guys and get your ideas on and start to implementing them on my farm.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if you guys, I realize that market happens to own like a majority of the homes outright. Like they don't owe anything on it. One, because they've owned it for so long, but they hold on tight to that. That's
Right.
their, that's their bread and butter at that point. And so it's one of the things that downsizing and decluttering, Marnie was saying, is having to let go of things. And the house is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Donald, wouldn't you agree? It was kind of like the holding on to that, but the house is the biggest one. And Debbie Gentry actually is a really good therapist in this area when it comes to that. So like Debbie needs to do a class on this. Debbie, you want to chime in on what we're talking about? Is she there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know where to start. So therapist is a mild way of saying counselor, psychologist, everything else. So, I think the hardest thing is for folks that are anywhere else and then they're going to make a big move somewhere. It doesn't have to be a big move out of the city. It just has to be a big move out of where they raise their kids, etc. You have to deal with all the emotional baggage that comes with it, because all they see is Johnny's little handprints, in the sidewalk, or the markings on the wall where they kept track of the height. And they can't let those things go, much less the physical items. And so it's a process. And I think Marty does it very well in her books and her YouTube type things. So take a look at what she had to say, but you have to have empathy that people can't just say, I'm moving to Florida like I did. I did it probably in a month's time, had no friends, no relatives, nobody, and I moved 30 years ago. But most people are not like me and just jump. So.
Thank you, Debbie. Roderick Hunter, are you there? Roderick, maybe? Okay. Oh, there's Roderick. But I don't hear you. Hello? Okay, Roderick, we can't hear you. So we'll move on to Mike. Or maybe, Roderick, can you hear us? Okay, Mike?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, how are you, Mike?
I'm doing great. How are y'all doing?
Great. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I called in from Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, welcome.
So I've been a licensed agent since 2009, but I was also an IT consultant. So real estate was kind of on the back burner then. I got my SRES in 2015, but I don't consider myself active until I joined EXP last spring when all of this stuff started. So that was a great start with EXP to have that on top of everything that you have to learn here. But it's been quite a challenge, but it's been fun. So I've been dealing with a lot of investors. So I'm really seeing a lot of the overlap between the investment side of real estate and the senior side. The two really can help each other out.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, Joe. Are you there, Joe?
Yes, hello.
Hi, Joe.
I'm in Santa Barbara, and I just joined EXP, I think it's about a couple of months ago. So I'm fairly new to it, and there's so much to learn with EXP. It just, I come from KW, and it was a very good company. I'm sure a lot of you guys know of it. But I've noticed with EXP, I get so much more, just, and the senior market, what interested me was dealing with my mom last year with her health issues and everything. So that got me interested in getting more involved in the senior market. I want to learn more about it, how I can help.
You're kind of mumbling. I can barely
Oh,
hear.
can you guys not hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. You're
Sorry.
Yes, yes, that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to learn how I can help with their living situation. Especially here in Santa Barbara, we have elderly
Right.
folks that live here and reside here. So
Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
thank you.
I'm looking forward for all of us to learn together. And then we have one last person, and it's Denise. Is that who it is? Or are we? We have somebody else. Yes.
I'm here.
Hi.
Hi. Well, I'm new to real estate. I kind of related to what John Carter had to say. I signed on with EXP. I was in hospitality for years and years, and we know how all that went down with COVID. So that was doing real estate, getting licensed was kind of on the back burner for me. So had a couple nudges from some friends, and so here I am. I live south of Nashville. I don't live in, there's not really retirement communities around here like you'd find in Florida. So I'm trying to find a niche right now. And so I considered, since I'm in the senior category myself, that it might be a good market for me to relate to. I'm particularly focused on people. There's a lot of people moving to Tennessee, and I've met several younger families. Excuse me, I have a dog, and that's why I kind of was muted, and she needs a lot of attention. And so trying to, with a lot of people moving here, and then talking to people, and they're saying, oh, my parents moved here after I moved here from California. And so, a lot of people who are trying to follow their families, and so empty nesters, I guess, is kind of what I'm considering that might be a good market. People who are wanting to downsize. That's kind of where I'm at. And so I thought I would join in. I noticed when the group popped up on the workplace, and then thought maybe it would be something that I would just sit in and just get some more information and see where that takes me.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thank you. Vince, welcome, Vince. I see you popping in. You get to come on camera and talk about yourself. Are you there, Vince? Okay, is Roderick, are you back, Roderick? Somebody? Okay. Maybe if they hop on, we'll get them later. So welcome, everybody. I'm so excited that you guys came to join us. Donald, myself, Debbie, and Laura were talking about all of exactly what you guys were talking about, and where you start marketing. Where do you market to people downsizing? Where do you market to people looking at 55 communities? Where do you market to people that you don't have seniors moving into your community or a large senior community? One of the things I do think is what's great about EXP is that we're all able to connect. So being in the senior market, you have people moving from every state that we're going to at least one of the other states, whether it be for a vacation home or, there's Roderick, whether it be for a vacation home or whether it be, a second home or rental home, whatever. We all are here to network. So we're all able to help in that way. But there's so many other ways, especially with professions. And I'm happy to start in on conversations with opening the floor with Donald. Maybe if you have a question that you want to pose to everybody.
Well, I don't have a question, but I have a comment, because it's a common question that I get asked often. And I heard it even this evening. One of the things, people think that because they don't have a lot of senior communities around them, that the senior market might not be their niche. Seniors are coming from everywhere. So you may not have senior communities in your area, but you more than likely have seniors in your area that are looking to move elsewhere. So they're either looking to buy a second home elsewhere, Florida, Arizona, Tennessee, North Carolina, Nevada are your common states. But the other thing is that you have seniors in your market, so they need attention as well, whether they're selling their home, whether they're looking for a second home elsewhere. It's always a sale or an opportunity for a referral to one of the other states that somebody's in. And that's, that's the avenue I would look at. Maybe the senior market might be a secondary market for you, where in my case, in Debbie's case, and many other people here, it's our primary market. That's the only thing I primarily work is in the seniors market. But that's because I have several senior communities in my area, and I happen to live in the largest one of them. We have 80,000 homes roughly here. So just in one community. But the challenge with that is there's 80,000 homes here. I can't possibly cover 80,000 homes. So you want to look at niching. That's the other thing is, people ask me, well, how do I get started? You get started by figuring out what your true niche is, whether it's, first-time home buyers, whether it's seniors, whether it's families. It all depends. Seniors that are downsizing, families that are upsizing. Figure out what that niche is, come up with an area that works best for you, and become the expert in that area. That's the key. People, when you speak confidently about a community or an area, that comes out whether you think about it or not. It comes out and people say, boy, you really know about this community. You know the ins and outs. And that's what you really want to do, is you want to become the expert. You want to be known as the expert. I moved into the area I live in, and I was fortunate enough to meet Debbie, who was the expert and still is the expert here. But now she's got somebody else to work with that knows the area well as well, because I learned from her. I learned a lot from her. So that's how all this really kind of got started, is we built this community that we intend to continue to grow, internal to EXP and certainly external to EXP, to talk to Keller Williams and Century 21 and these other agencies that are out there, because we believe we can dominate this marketplace from a real estate perspective. We have a lot of knowledge in our company when it comes to the senior market, and there's no reason for us not to take advantage of it, because nobody else is taking advantage of it. So that's part of our goal as this group, is to be able to as Heather says, empower and educate our folks in this market.
I want to add on to that if you didn't see Kelly Wheeler's presentation on Friday, or you didn't keep up with him because he's very quick, I would highly suggest you go back, because he hit the nail on the head when he said, think about who you want to work with and use a Remind type product. It may be Realist, it may be whatever you have available in your MLS, but if you go and find out who's owned their house for 10 years, well, guess what? If they had a small child, their child is probably graduating, going to college at this point. They may need to get a smaller house, even if they don't move someplace else. Think about who needs your services based on the time they've been in their home. And, I don't like to work first-time home buyers, never have, because there's a lot to teach. But I'm on the opposite end, and there's a whole lot of stuff to teach. I specialize in probate. Anybody can be probate anywhere you live because there's people dying left and right. I hate to say, but it's not for every realtor. You have to have a ton of compassion at that point. So everybody can probate specialist, and that's a niche. But think about what Kelly said about how to drill down with Remine or one of those products to find the people that you want to try to find the listings with.
And one of the other things that's a misconception is when people are downsizing or they're aging in place, that word, when you hear the word aging in place, you would think, oh, people are just going to stay in their home. That doesn't mean that people are staying in their home. That means that the home that they're in may not fit for them at that moment. It might be two stories. It might have 5-10 steps that goes into the home. It might have a lot of 2-3 steps throughout the home. It might have lots of platforms and narrow hallways that are not conducive to a walker. When something hits hard in a home, a fall, something, they need a drastic change. And I'm going to tell you, the one thing that's going to go is like, shoot, I need a home that's got wider hallways or wider this, and this home's not going to be it. So they're going to want a home that's going to be a 1-story, that's going to have very few, lips going in and out of, in and out of entrances and exits into a garage. There's, walkways are going to be wide, your hallways are going to be wide. So you can sell in that avenue and make it sound like, hey, by the way, aging in place doesn't mean that you have to stay in your home. It means that you still want to live in your community. You just want to live in a home that's 1-story. It doesn't mean you have to give everything up. Doesn't mean you have to give up your kids that live around the corner, or your grocery store that you love to go to, or your nail person that you go to, or the same doctors. And so I think in people's minds, that word aging in place is a little different. So I think a lot of us, if you're marketing to people, you can kind of market to them in that, in that avenue of like, hey, aging in place doesn't mean you have to live in your, in the home that you're in. And you can kind of do like a little cartoon type thing. You're busting, you've got no kids in a home and you've got nothing going on in the home. Now you've got grandkids that are around the corner. So everybody goes to the kid's house. And then they're stuck with the home that, Debbie and I were talking about, that's, they're so afraid to get out of. And, then you go that avenue. So you've kind of got two little things working for you. And it's safer. Statistically, they know that when people are living in a home versus living in a facility, they live longer. We heard that statistic from Fritzy. Those statistics, if you guys haven't seen my little TikToks that I've been doing with Eve, I'm doing those TikToks to put awareness out there of who we are as a real estate agent, because I want to sell their home, whether they want, when they're ready to sell it because they want to move into a 55+ community. And then I can say, I can find you an expert in a 55+ community anywhere in the US. There's another avenue of selling. So now you can find anybody in the US within our company in a 55 community. Hey, you want to move to the Villages? I got the hookup in the Villages. And that's like what people want to hear. So maybe those people that don't have that senior community, but that they want to move out of the cold, especially from Canada. I have vacation rentals, and I know I have a lot of Canadians that come to my vacation rentals down in Florida. I'm telling you, you tell these people up in Canada, hey, I got people down and I got hookups in 55 communities down in Florida. I'm here to help. I can sell your house and find you a house down there. You've just done a double deed for these people. They don't have to look for another person. You call Donald, you call Debbie, or if there's anybody else here. I'm in Florida, by the way. And so you could call somebody on our group.
Tom
And
in
let them know.
Toronto.
Hmm?
Tom in Toronto.
Tom in Toronto. But I'm just saying is like, you know, that's where the network comes in. So there's avenues within this, but nobody's tapping it because it's a market that's like misunderstood or not understood at all. I can't say misunderstood, that kind of is negative. Not understood at all. Maybe, I don't know.
Yep.
Open for discussion. It's
I mean,
quiet.
it's an untapped market, really.
Is it because everybody's lazy and they don't want to do the extra step? They can just throw those houses up and somebody will buy it because like in our market, everybody's going nuts trying to grab what they can and moving on.
Yeah, but that'll end soon. That'll end. It has to end. All good things come to an end. I'm a firm believer in that. Just look at history. I mean, we're past due already. The market's way past due based on a 7-8 year cycle of real estate up and down.
So one thing that I've learned over time is people want information. They want to be knowledgeable. So forget about seniors. You can use this for anybody. They want statistics. Like Heather's great with senior statistics. They want to know how many homes have sold in my 3-mile radius that an appraiser in Florida is going to use. And what was the average price? Or show me a list of the homes, better yet. Because I was on a session today and the guy was pitching to sell stuff, which was okay because I can say no. But I thought it was interesting when he said Zillow was 10.6% off of the price and Realtor.com was 6 point whatever percent off. If you show them the actual, here's the list the last month that sold in your immediate neck of the woods, you are showing that you know the market. And that may be a subdivision you decide to farm. And the thing I've tried to switch to is don't send it out manually in the mail anymore. Get a website and create that website presence through KV Core or wherever you want to use it, and provide that stats, and then send the postcards and say, hey, you live in subdivision XYZ, come over here and look at the stats anytime you want to. And you become the king and queen of that neighborhood very quickly because you're showing them what they want to see.
And Debbie, to piggyback on that, one of the things that Eve and I are actually going to be another TikTok that we're coming out with is money, free money that people can actually get to help them age in place in a home. Doesn't have to be the home they're living in. Or they have they've got money that's out there. Every state is different. I don't know whose state is doing what, but that is, and they've got, they've got them on, national, they've got grants, they've got everything. But it's just something that Eve and I were working on, because once you get these seniors like interested in that information, that stuff that they want to know. They want to know, oh my God, I can get free money. This real estate agent's great. She's giving me, or he's giving me great information to find stuff to do. So when you're talking about how do you market to these people, you don't want to go cold turkey on, like hot steam on and roll over them with, bombarding them with marketing material of just real estate stuff. Connect with them. This generation needs a connection. Our generation needs a connection. We are not like the younger generation. Like I could tell you right now, when real estate agents just want to do nothing but text and not want to pick up a phone, it's annoying me. But I can tell you that as an older person, I would get turned off by dealing with somebody who only deals in text messages and who doesn't want to deal either, face to face and with a phone call. The younger generation likes that. That's how they deal with things. It's email and text. so they need a connection. They want a connection to the community. Some of the stuff in their community they want to know about that they didn't know about. Do you know any senior centers in your community? Maybe putting out a flyer with your picture on it and talk about, oh, did you know that the senior center down blah, blah, blah street has these classes in it, and maybe hold a class there. I know that we do have, who is it from Canada that we had speak, and he does classes with an attorney and an insurance broker, and he partners up with a bunch of people.
That was Ed Robinson.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Tom. Tom for the win. Thank you, Tom. So yes, Ed Robinson. Ed Robinson holds classes at the senior center. And then when everything went awry, he went to Zoom and he gave us his PowerPoint presentation. Find it in our group thing and look at his power presentation. He gave it to us. And I thought it was really cool. So that's another way maybe to connect with the community. And then you're promoting the senior center. I don't know, maybe promote a deli because we all love delis and it's a great place to hang out. Maybe promote a deli and do some sort of like if you promote them on your flyer, maybe if they go in, they get a sundae by telling them about your flyer. I kind of get in the community. I'm a big community person. I like pulling in the community for things. And it's free to them. It's free for you. It's free for them because you're printing it for them. They're not paying for printing. It's free advertising for them. You're just putting it on your flyer. And so people want to look at the flyer. If you see a free sundae, if you go in there and spend $20 or whatever, you have that connection with a restaurant. Debbie, I see you.
So pre-COVID, I hooked up with an estate lawyer doing trust wills, etc. It's a great way because they want to get their word out about their service. And I could piggyback with them and actually introduce what's going on in real estate and why it's important to do the trust or the wills or whatever is important in the state you're in. So look at those type folks. They're all out there. They're all wanting business. We haven't started back up here yet because our community's pretty skittish. We're talking about going Zoom like Ed did. So it's a thing that just take those ideas and don't be afraid to run with it and start on Zoom. Trust me, it's a whole lot easier to do it on Zoom than it is to coordinate at the senior citizen center or the library.
Yeah, I agree. I think when it comes to seniors, and Fritzy said it best, their demographics, which actually, if you guys don't have that slide, I'll put it in the box because I did take a snapshot of it. That demographics really has a lot to say. Let me see if this, somebody go ahead and talk while I look for this. Sorry, guys.
So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Any questions from Friday's session or just questions in general that we can help with? Somebody stuck with something that just might need a little help with right now?
Donna, where do you get these designations from? Courses, class, certification thing?
Yeah.
The EXP, or is it external?
No, a lot of them, they're all external.
RES.
External. You
Okay.
go to NAR and you'll see SRES, CAPS has been talked about. There's a couple of different ones, but SRES is the most popular one. You're going to learn, I think you're going to learn a lot more from the people that come on this session, this mastermind overall, but there's many different places to pick it up. A lot of them are still doing Zoom sessions for those classes and those certifications or designations.
ABR is a good one. If you don't know that, accredited buyer's representation. The reason I say that is because you get a lot of referrals off of it. I have CRS, and that's because I've been in the business way too long. So I get a ton of referrals off of CRS, but it takes time to get that one. So look at the designations. SRES is all about knowledge. It's not about referrals overall. So, but it's knowledge.
Anybody else? Any other questions, comments from Friday's session?
Well, the one
Love
thing that I
feedback.
enjoyed about the Friday session, when I tapped in, I didn't look at the whole thing, but I liked when she used the term right sizing opposed to downsizing. I just thought that was like the icing on the cake. I can't wait to put something together and use it. So
Well, and that's the part of marketing.
Right.
So you can coin phrase that as a piece of your marketing that you would rather right size people. And it doesn't mean the right fit is in the house that you're in. I can help you, find the next fit, whether it be in here or in any other state. That's the perfect part of EXP.
The key thing is defining it. Right, so use the terminology, but define it so people know what you mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just one of those sayings that can be looked at and taken the wrong way. So you want to just define what it is that you mean by that to people. But I did like that as well. Anything else? Was it worthwhile?
So we have a huge surprise for you guys. I'm going to do a drum roll, and Donald, go ahead and tell them. And then Eve is going to drop the information in the chat box. But here's what we're asking all of you guys. Please share it in your state groups when we tell you this big surprise. Share it in your state groups, share it on Facebook, share it wherever you want because it's open to anybody. Join the Facebook group, the Seniors Network, because we can go there too. Donald, tell everybody what we got coming on next Tuesday.
So next Tuesday, we have a special guest coming from the Tony Robbins organization. So he will come in and he will talk to us about different things about Tony Robbins and methodology and things like that. And it will not be held in this session. So when you register, you will be registering outside of our realm in EXP or outside of EXP. So you'll have to make sure that you follow what it is. The link was just put in the chat. Register there. You'll follow a different link. It's another Zoom link, but it'll be very good. I put one of these on. Debbie and I put one of these on 2 years ago here locally before Zoom got to where it is today, and it was a great session.
So this is Tony Robbins' right-hand guy, Stephen Hilgard. Stephen, thank you so much, Eve. Stephen Hilgard. So Stephen Hilgard will be here. I put the 4 main topics that he's going to be covering and working on with us. He's also going to go over a strategy, and he's going to give us, I am assuming, homework. The whole flyer and all of that information can be seen at the top of our Seniors Network page. So go share, send it to everybody, because we want to kick this and this event out of the world. They know it's for the 55 market. We've told them, so it's geared directly for us, which is nice. So anybody else? Feedback? Anything?
Questions, comments?
Put it up again, please.
Pardon me?
Put it up again, please.
Oh, Evil put it up again. And then
Ah, there it is.
so I have some questions. Is there any classes that you guys want to see, things that you want to learn? I would love some feedback because I'm looking to find a class that's for the following week. I don't have anything scheduled and would love some ideas.
Would
Social
really like
media?
to- Okay,
I'm
go
sorry, what?
Social media? Like
Okay, we'll
social
do
media?
another social media. Any specific type of social media?
Well, I want to know, where are the seniors at on social media? Like, what types of groups are they in? Are they in craft groups, investors, golfers? Like, what type of groups? Where can I market? Well, not really market, but where can I make connections, educate them on,
Okay.
all that.
Okay.
All the above.
Very
All the
good.
above. Got it. Okay, social media, Amy Roberts.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how to integrate with the professionals in my area. And so any sort of a basic form letter to introduce and what the wording or how do you work with a remodeler, and how do you financially, how do you make money from that deal and that sort of thing?
Okay.
So I would say it's no different than learning about anything else. You have to go in and build that relationship, and they will guide you on how they like doing things.
I just was looking for that. I wanted to go in and feel I had that confidence of knowing what they're going to throw back at me, and if it's reasonable or if I'm being, I'm not sure I won't be taken, but I just wanted to.
Amy, why don't you message me and we'll talk, because I'm kind of headed in. I get the direction where you're headed, and I'm on that. I'm pointing to you because you're next to me on the screen. Sorry. Message me over on Workplace. Okay. Yeah, because I'd love to chat. You never know.
Okay.
It's nice to just be able to back and forth.
Okay. Thank you.
You're okay. And anybody else have any ideas? I've got social media, Facebook. What other things do you guys want to learn from people? Anything, Tara?
I've got one. I think that we also need to think about focusing on how do we reach the adult children of the seniors, because a huge percentage of the referral base is going to come from those folks, not from the seniors themselves. I mean, it depends on the age group we're talking about, but when we're getting into those older seniors that basically didn't know they were ready to move, and then something like a fall happens, there's an emergency, people like myself in therapy are telling them they're not safe in their homes anymore. It's their children. So we have to also think about what is the best way to get in touch with those folks.
Okay, so those 3 exact points, what were you saying about, you just made 3 points. What were the 3 points again?
Mostly I said, just how do we, think about how to address those emergency situations, that bring people to needing to make a change, and also how do we really market to the children of the seniors, because oftentimes they're not going to be the ones finding us themselves.
Right. So one of the things that and this is the POW moment I just had. One of the things that we did learn was the people that own houses, the addresses. Most of them are living trusts by that point, unless, they're in Debbie Gentry's case and they haven't put it in a living trust. But most of them are. Those living trusts, like, especially I know with my parents, that mailings come to us. They don't go to my parents. There are certain things that comes to living trust that comes to us. My thought is, if you focused on those addresses with the trusts and you said, is your parent living safely? Are you, is there a slip and fall? Is there, something with the house? You, as a real estate agent, maybe market in that way of like, I'm here to help or whatever it is, kind of taking the compassionate road with, hey, has this happened to your parent? Blah, 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 blah. I'm here to help. I'm a real estate agent with the SRES background. I work in senior real estate. I'm here. I'm knowledgeable in the 55 market. I'm knowledgeable in the other thing is in your neighborhoods, you really should know the facilities that are around you. Assisted living. I think, Terry, you work in that type of background, correct?
I have before, I don't currently, but
Yes.
yeah.
So
That's
even that
actually-
knowledge of just saying that you've got this many years experience in working with facilities around you, you can even help their parent get into a home. So just by helping the parent get into a home after a fall, they see a real estate agent's message to them on a flyer and it says, oh my God, my parent fall. And then all of a sudden a month later, they see that, they think about that message and their parent just fell. And then they're like, oh God, there was a real estate agent. I wonder if she has an assisted living place around there that my parent can go to, or a boarding care, or a such and such place that my parent can go to. Well, here's the kicker. When they put their parent in there, how are they going to pay for it? Right? Typically the home is what they pay with. Some take a HACM loan out, others, whatever they do, they have to do to take the money out. Well, when they go to live in one of those facilities, it's more expensive out of pocket, and their insurance isn't going to pay much. So the kids are going to have to pay. Well, they're going to sell the house. That's how they're going to get their well, that's how they're going to get their money. So I'm just saying is maybe if you took the avenue of marketing it that way, instead of, coming from a compassion side, because that's your background, and that you have knowledge of facilities in there, that if something happens to your parents, slip and fall, because we know what the percentage is on slip and fall. Even I just did that message. I mean, that statistics is pretty scary in a bathroom. Well, imagine your kids live in Michigan, and you live in California. They're not going to schlep the parent from California to Michigan. I'm telling you that right now, they won't do that. It's too shocking to a parent at that age. And the parent then gets taken away from their friends and from maybe other family members, but not their kids. It's too emotionally wrecking on them. So, but the parent has to instill trust in somebody, or the kid. That would be my thought as a child to my parents. That would be it. So anyway, I know we got to kind of get going, but anyway, that was off on a tangent, but that was my thought process on it.
Can I put 2 cents in?
Yes.
So one of the easiest ways is to have every profile that you have out on the website say that you're a senior expert and have a ton of profiles. I will tell you, and I'm not bragging, but if you put Debbie Gentry Realtor and go and copy every profile that I have out there into your own environment, you will find the kids, because that's how they find me. 99% of them say you're all over the place on the internet and you're a senior expert. It has nothing to do with send them a letter, which I could, but I'm trying to take the easy approach. And so seriously, go Google my name and copy the profiles. You'll be amazed how many places you didn't know that's out there, and none of them are paid. I don't pay for Zillow. I don't pay for any of them. Just do the profiles and be very specific in what you specialize in.
Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to see everybody next Tuesday night. It is free. So just, you have to sign up. That's what Tony Robbins, event coordinator, wants you to do. We can't do it through this platform for next week, but we will resume back here the following week. It's going to be at the exact same time. So the Tony Robbins event is on August 31st, which is next Tuesday, same time. I know that both Eve and Laura were putting in the chat box all the information. Go share. We really need you to share this event, because we want everybody to, all other agents to be able to attend. This isn't just EXP agents. We want all agents to be empowered and educated in the 55 market, because it's a market that's just, nothing's happening in it but us, our group. So, all right.
Sounds good. Thank you, everybody, for coming this evening.
Thank you.
and look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
I enjoyed this very much. This is my first time.
Great.
Oh,
Thank
welcome,
you.
Blossom.
Thank
And
you.
so is mine, Diane. I'm so glad I found this group. I feel
Diane.
alive now.
Can't
Where
wait.
are
Well,
you
okay,
in?
Tony Robbins next week, and then we'll see you the week after. Thank you, everybody.
Could everybody
Are you
say what
registered?
state they're in?
Oh, we did that early. Where are you, Blossom?
I'm in California.
Oh, where in California?
I'm in Studio City near
Oh,
Universal.
I'm in Encino. I am very close to
Okay.
you. Yes.
Okay. I could email you or text
Yes,
you.
yes, you can. We are from all over. We actually
I
have
thought you
somebody-
said Miami, so I wasn't sure.
I do. I actually work both coasts. And so I'm newly licensed there and going into an association there in September. So I'll be officially both sides.
Okay, great. I'm so
Yeah.
happy to meet you, Heather.
Nice to meet you too. Now, Donald and Debbie are from Florida, the Villages. And then we've got some
Laura's in Arizona.
Laura's in Arizona. Eve is in Sherman Oaks, and then everybody's kind of from everywhere else. But we're kind of running out of time. And not next week, but the following week, we'll kind of do a little hello shout out.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Night.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.